Have you ever pondered over the origins of wine, that alluring elixir that has enchanted mankind for centuries? Let's take a step back in time, all the way to around 6000 BC in the region we now know as Georgia. This is where our story begins, in the dawn of winemaking. Evidence found in ancient pottery suggests that our ancestors, even in those remote times, were producing and consuming wine. Imagine the scene, a gathering around a fire, the sharing of stories and laughter, all accompanied by this precious beverage. It's not a stretch to think that wine possibly held a ceremonial purpose, adding a touch of solemnity and reverence to their gatherings. This is where it all started. From these humble beginnings, wine began its fascinating journey, a journey that would see it traverse across millennia, cultures and continents. From its humble roots in ancient Georgia, wine has embarked on a remarkable journey across time and space. From the Caucasus, let's journey to the land of the Pharaohs, where wine became a symbol of prestige and power. In the sun-drenched valleys of ancient Egypt, wine production truly began to flourish. But this wasn't any ordinary tipple. Oh no. This was a beverage reserved for those of high stature, the pharaoh and his court. For them, wine was more than just a drink. It was a symbol of their power and prestige, a testament to their wealth and influence. But the Egyptians didn't just sip wine at lavish feasts. Wine also played a pivotal role in their religious rituals. It was offered to the gods as a sacred libation, a spiritual conduit connecting the earthly realm with the divine. From the grandeur of the royal court to the sacred spaces of their temples, wine was intrinsically woven into the fabric of Egyptian society. The pharaohs and their courtiers may have been the first wine snobs, but they certainly weren't the last. From Egypt, let us traverse to ancient Greece and Rome, where wine was deeply ingrained in society. The Greeks and Romans were more than mere consumers of wine. They were its champions, its promoters, its aficionados. They recognized the art of winemaking and they elevated it, celebrating it in their mythology, their daily lives and their commerce. In the pantheon of Greek gods, Dionysus stood as the deity of wine, pleasure and festivity. He was worshipped and adored, and his influence extended to the vineyards. The Greeks believed that a good wine was a gift from Dionysus himself, and they honored him with festivals and rituals. They developed sophisticated techniques for growing grapes and creating diverse types of wine, each with its unique character and flavor. As the baton of civilization passed from Greece to Rome, so did the love for wine. Bacchus, the Roman counterpart of Dionysus, reigned over wine and merriment in Roman society. The Romans, with their knack for organization and infrastructure, took viticulture to new heights. They meticulously classified vine varieties and grades of wine, and they integrated wine into their daily meals and social gatherings. And then there was trade. Wine was not just a product, it was a currency of sorts, a commodity that flowed along the trade routes of the Mediterranean. It was packed in amphorae, the characteristic Roman wine jars, and it found its way to every corner of the Roman Empire, from the sun-drenched villas of Italy to the distant provinces of Britannia and Hispania. But perhaps the most profound impact of the Greeks and Romans on wine culture was their role in spreading viticulture. They carried the art of winemaking wherever they went, establishing vineyards in their colonies and conquered lands. They laid the foundation for the wine cultures of many modern European nations, including France, Spain and Germany. The Greeks and Romans not only enjoyed wine, but they also promoted viticulture, spreading the art of winemaking throughout their vast empires. As empires rise and fall, the tradition of wine perseveres, finding refuge in monastic communities during the Middle Ages. After the fall of the Roman Empire, the art of winemaking could have been lost to time. But it was the monks, living in their secluded monasteries across Europe, who took upon themselves to keep this noble tradition alive. They cultivated vineyards and produced wine, not merely for sustenance but also for medicinal purposes and to celebrate the Holy Mass. Monastic communities such as the Benedictines and Cistercians became the guardians of viticulture, refining their techniques and introducing innovations that would later shape the world of wine. As we journey further in time, we reach the Renaissance of wine in the 19th century. This period saw a surge in scientific understanding and technological advancements in viticulture and enology, the science of wine and winemaking. These developments led to the production of finer, more consistent wines, and the world began to recognize and appreciate the delicate artistry of winemaking. However, the wine industry was not without its challenges. The late 19th century brought with it one of the most devastating events in the history of wine: the phylloxera epidemic. This tiny insect, native to North America, ravaged European vineyards, causing widespread destruction and plunging the wine world into a state of crisis. But, as always, adversity bred innovation. The solution came in the form of grafting resistant American rootstocks to vulnerable European vines, a practice that continues to this day. And so we arrive at the 20th century, the era of New World wines. Countries like the United States, Australia and Chile, previously considered the underdogs, emerged as significant players in the global wine industry. These New World wines, with their bold and innovative styles, not only challenged the dominance of traditional European wines, but also expanded the global wine palette, introducing a diversity of tastes and flavors. Despite the trials and tribulations of history, wine has not only survived but thrived, becoming a global phenomenon. From ancient pottery in Georgia to the vineyards of Napa Valley, wine has a rich and diverse history. It's a journey that starts in the Caucasus foothills, where the first known winemaking took place. From there we travel to the banks of the Nile, where wine became a luxury, a status symbol for the ancient Egyptians. The Greeks and Romans then took the vine by the hand, spreading the culture of wine across their vast empires. Wine was no longer just a luxury, but a part of everyday life, a symbol of civilization and refinement. The Middle Ages saw a resurgence of wine, a revival that continues to this day. From humble monastic vineyards to the grand chateau of Bordeaux and beyond, wine has evolved, but its essence remains the same. As we raise our glasses, let's remember that each sip is a testament to wine's enduring allure, a journey through time and cultures, from ancient civilizations to our modern tables. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more interesting facts. See you next time.